Just before the video starts, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. Otherwise, here's the video. Whoop. Hey, the Gundam Boy here. Today we're going to be looking a little bit more in depth about the Reprimand SMG. And this comment right here poses a good question. Is the Scorcher better or is the Reprimand better? And that makes me want to take a further look into all the medium pen weapons and how the new gun fares. So let's get right into it. So there's a major misconception about how guns should be compared in this game. I think most people think, oh, is this gun better than the other, rather than, is this gun good for this situation? Because honestly, at the end of the day, it's all about the playstyle and how you play, so this gun may not be for everybody, and it might be for some, but guess what? We'll figure out today. Alright, so obviously we're going to take a look first at the Reprimand, since that's the gun we're going to be comparing for our base. It's the new heavy SMG, and I tested against bugs, and as you can see on my gameplay, it hits like a truck. I honestly might prefer to use this gun over the Tenderizer because it just can pop these warrior bugs so good. Hive guards don't even stand a chance against this thing. They fall almost after like 3 shots. Now this SMG does have a weird recoil, so at certain ranges this gun is not viable. So if you're looking for something to shoot at long distances, I would probably recommend other guns with more accuracy like the Adjudicator. But for what it lacks in range, it makes up in firepower, because this gun will absolutely plow through most targets. Hunters, warriors, even the brood commanders don't stand a chance. Yeah, probably buffed by the fact that it has 125 damage per shot for a magazine of 25. That's pretty great. So yeah, this gun is pretty much your close quarters stopping power right here. This is the gun you pull out when you absolutely need to get down and dirty with it. But how does it compare to something like the Plas-101 Scorcher, you may ask? So the Plas-101 Scorcher has 200 damage, capacity of 20, recoil of 20, and a fire rate of 350, has medium armor pen, and it explodes. I think the Plas-101 Scorcher has a lot in common with the Reprimand. These guns have similar bullets per mag, but the Reprimand has more magazines overall, and the Plas-101 Scorcher is capable of hitting multiple targets, doing a lot of damage, while the Reprimand has more stopping power against single targets. But then the Scorcher also has more range. So these guns are really similar. It's kinda hard to compare them to say which one's better or worse. They both have similar functions. They both take down bigger targets really quickly, and they both have awkward moments when you try to shoot small guys. That's just the skill issue, though, I think, on my end. Otherwise, I think both of them are like S-tier guns, except for the Reprimand's awkward range. Now, compared to the Plas-101 Purifier, now that's a completely different game. In terms of how this gun fares, the Plas-101 Scorcher beats out both guns. Due to the new style and update that they did for this gun has so much more utility than its initial counterpart on release with Polar Patriots. I've been using this gun against the bugs. As you can see, this giant charged blast just wipes out parties. This gun is above both the Scorcher and the Reprimand, with the current state of this giant blasting plasma ball wiping everybody like it's my ass crack on a Tuesday with Taco Bell. Heavy blast, rapid fire, you can swap between both of these on this gun at any moment. Both the Purifier and the Scorcher both suffer from being very ammo hungry, whereas the Reprimand has more ammo overall, so you'll be less likely to go hit up the supply pack and make everybody upset because you took all the ammo. But these guns both have something in common. They both can crowd control and focus targets. But the Purifier needs to charge up to get this big blast. The Reprimand can just fire at any moment. I think the Dominator is going to be the weirdest to compare to, because this gun is a focusing gun monster. This thing was made to take down single targets and only single targets. As you can see in this footage right here, going up against bugs, this gun's kind of weird as there is a lot of looking around, and the gun's handling is much worse than the Reprimand, which means you're going to spend a lot of your time waiting to turn before you can fire, otherwise you'll fire into the back of your teammate like I did a couple of times. This gun definitely hits harder, though, in comparison to the Reprimand, against targets like Bile Spears and Brood Commanders, so this gun does win out in terms of hitting like a truck. It's just not that good for crowd control, whereas the Reprimand can do both comfortably. Another two guns that is kinda weird to compare to this gun, just because it's a medium pen, are both explosive weapons, the Eruptor and the Crossbow, as they both can crowd control, but they're also both great at taking down heavy units. And since they have an explosive utility, they can take out both bot bases and buggles. Of course, they both handle weirdly. One due to the Eruptor being a heavy gun, making it sway like a tank turret, whereas the Crossbow is limited on range, as you have to compensate for drop. Lastly, we have the Liberator Penetrator. Initially a lackluster gun that no one would ever think about using, ever since it's been updated, it's been a pretty viable gun that I've seen more and more divers use. I think its fire rate of 640 helps this gun with its time to kill, as I've noticed killing bile spears with it is pretty clean and quick, though its stopping power against other heavy enemies might have this gun struggle depending on where you're shooting. This gun is more of a focusing on weak points and take them down that way, rather than the Reprimand's ability to brute force its way through all the automaton skulls. But is this gun good? I say absolutely. But I have a question to you. Does this gun fit your playstyle? That's the real question that needs to be answered. My very own teammate barely changes her loadout style from the Plasma Punisher and the Sickle, so it's really up to you what you guys like to use as a weapon and theme what's viable. You like to get close in quarters and start gunning enemies down, or do you prefer to stay off in the distance and pick them off? I think it comes down to mission, team dynamic, and playstyle. But overall, I would say the Reprimand is a pretty good damn gun. Hey, be sure to let me know what you think about the video and what do you think about the guns, and how would you like to see them be upgraded later in the future. Alright, you guys have a great one.